No way, Fist Guy. This is the guy you told us about? Quote. Ass Freak is the master your friend recommended? Quote. Brother, are you kidding us? Quote. Brother, are you playing with us? Quote. Fist Guy's men were talking at the same time as none of them believed Ass Freak was the man. Fist Guy was also upset. Fang Jinky said he would send him a master of assassination. But he did not expect it to be Hasen. Fist Guy knew Fang Jinky well and knew that he would never mess around. Since Fang had recommended Hasen, he must have his own reason. Fist Guy regarded Hasen and said, Fang said that you are skilled in assassination. Quote. Better than average, Hasen said. Better than average? We are going to kill a sacred blood creature. Can you manage that? Littlefinger said with distrust and curled his lips. This gang was different from the Keen Shan's gang and Son of Heaven's gang. It had no military background and Fist Guy did not pay for the gang members. Fist Gang was formed by a group of friends and Fist Guy was their leader. The members all referred to each other with nicknames. Thumb, Index Finger, Middle Finger, Ring Finger and Little Finger. Plus Fist Guy were the backbone of Fist Gang. All six were here today. Which showed the importance they attached to this sacred blood creature. Fist Guy had almost maxed out on his sacred Geno points and all he needed was the meat from this one creature to get there. After that he could enter Second God's Sanctuary with max sacred Geno points. That was why this time they were not sharing the meat but chose to pay with a mutant beast soul. Mount. Fist Guy gave Littlefinger a wave to stop him. Gazed at Hasen. And said, I trust Fang. But this is very important for us and I have to be responsible for my brothers. Please show us what you got. Drawing a dagger from his waist, Fist Guy handed it to Hasen. Hasen was not offended as he knew his reputation in steel armor shelter was not great. He had thought this might happen and did not really blame these guys for it. Hasen reached out a hand and grabbed the dagger. When Fist Guy was about to withdraw his arm, Hasen's hand moved. Just when Fist Guy wanted to dodge, the dagger he just gave Hasen was already on his neck. Suddenly Fist Guy froze and his hands were still in the air as he was not even able to put them up. For defense, the rest of the gang were all dumbfounded with their face turned. They knew well Fist Guy's skills. Although it was a sneak attack from Hasen, the guy was still able to catch Fist Guy off guard and put a blade to his neck. None of the Finger brothers thought they could do the same. Hasen moved the dagger away, stepped back, and threw it back at Fist Guy. He asked with a smile, Do I need to do another test? No, let's hit the road, Fist Guy said simply. He contemplated Hasen and tucked the dagger back at his waist. Littlefinger and other members were curious about Hasen, not expecting the infamous Ass Freak to have such skills. But they did not say much either and summoned their mounts to go. Not having a mount, Hasen was invited to sit together with Fist Guy on his mutant mount, which was as strong as a rhinoceros. The gang marched toward the southern mountains. Along the way, the gang had never stopped unless necessary. On the third day, they finally stopped at a Grand Canyon. Hasen estimated that if it were not for the mounts, it would have taken them half a month to get here. They could no longer ride in the canyon. So Hasen followed the gang on foot. Along the side of the valley they walked down and saw a billowing river, which was still not their destination. Having walked for more than 2 hours, they finally saw a large cave on the side. It was dark inside and they lit torches before going in. Once they were in the cave, columns of stalactites caught their eyes. Be careful. Although we have cleared them up last time we came, the cave has a complex structure so there is no guarantee that we've got them all. Also there could be some new creatures hidden somewhere. Everyone pay attention, said Fist Guy solemnly. All answered aye, and Thumb led the way holding a mutant beast soul shield in his hand. The rest followed him into the depths of the cave. Little Finger was walking on the end with a pair of beast soul kutals in his hand, vigilantly looking around. Inside the cave, water was dripping from above, the sound of which was particularly clear in the cave. The stones under their feet were slippery and held puddles of water more than an inch deep here and there. People were very careful, not because it was difficult to walk, but for fear of dangerous creatures that might appear any time. Along the way Hussein saw a lot of old bloodstains, which must be left from when the gang was here last time. Obviously their worries were unnecessary as they had encountered no danger on the way. The gang must have done a good job last time as there was not even a primitive creature. Pay attention, guys. We are about to see it. Do not make a noise, whispered Fist Guy, who was directly behind Thumb after they had walked for 4 or 5 hours. In fact, these words were meant for Hussein, as everyone else had been here before and knew that they were approaching the creature. They were tiptoeing like cats, making absolutely no sound. Hussein nodded to Fist Guy, who then signaled Thumb to keep going. In a short while, they were at the end of the path and the space suddenly became huge. A stone hall appeared in front of their eyes. The stalactites hanging from the ceiling were about 30 feet long, which were not even 1/10 of the height of the cave. Unknown black vines were growing everywhere in the cave and the leaves on the vines were as black as ink. There were even black flowers dotted on the vines. Where they came from was like a tunnel that was connected to the hall's wall, and there were many entrances like this one. Fist Guy indicated silence to Hussein with his finger and then pointed underneath them. Hussein looked down and his eyes lit up.